Welcome to adding a subwoofer in your car. What this video is going to go over is I'm going to show you 5 ways to add bass to your car that you might not have been thinking about. You might say, hey, I want to add bass. I want to have some fun. I want to have some snort with the music. But I don't know where to start, or I don't know what's going to fit. Because for example, this box is what we all remember. We all remember the parking lot in high school where someone that had 2 big 12s booming away playing Baby Got Back. And I'm dating myself, but hey, I love it. So, but you used to have a separate amplifier for this as well. Now in today's amplifiers, they're a little bit smaller. I will give you that, okay? So I can have a small, say 500 watt amplifier to run this, or back in the day you had a surfboard. Now this came out of my son's 2011 Subaru WR. It actually had a trunk, so it was very easy for him to get into it. But he had an amplifier about this big, 1000 watt, et cetera, et cetera. So one thing is, you have to find a place to mount this amplifier, and then you have to have this sub box. But you might say, yeah, well, I want to feel that bass. I want to have that, but it doesn't fit in my car. And it's true. Okay, it's true. He had a sedan, so he could fit one in his car quite easily. It wasn't too bad. But what if you don't have the option of a, let's just say a mid-size sedan, okay? So now going to this style, what this one is, I know it's gonna look a little bit dark, but you'll see it has a slit underneath. And what this is a sub box with a downfiring 10. So it's a 10-inch subwoofer. Also, it has a built-in amplifier. Now, this is a 300 watt amplifier in this application. I'm not really talking about brands today, guys. I'm more want to just kind of show you options, okay? Now, what I like about this is if I have say a back of a vehicle, I can tuck this in the back, my sub's protected. I can throw a gym bag in there, hockey gear, toolbox, whatever. Also too, if I have a trunk, I can put it like this, and I can pile stuff on top of it. It's not going to get damaged. That's what I like about this kind of style. You are limited to a shallow sub. Okay, now shallow subs, I want to call them 50 to 75%, depending on how good of one you buy, compared to a subwoofer, okay? It's all about moving air, and it's a piston moving air, and more that piston can move, the more air it produces. And that's why it's stuff like this, because it can move a lot of air, it's louder, but what fits? Also too, a lot of times too, you just want to hear the bass, you just want to feel it, because let's face it, bass is a good 25% of the music, so you want it just to fill in and then have some fun. You want to feel it a little bit in your butt, you want to move your pant legs, that's what I like, I admit it. But bass has a way of bringing smiles to people's face. It's something we're missing when we have earpods in or anything, because you can't feel it. Now, if you think about it, if you went to a party, concert, a dance, anything like that, or even went for a good cruise a lot of time, music makes the difference. You look at video games today, a lot of times it's some ambient music. You look at Need for Speed, it was a big game. It had the Snoop Dogg's version of Riders in the Storm, with the boom, boom, right? So these things make you smile and bring memories, and that's what I love about music. It's transformative. It can be a time machine, take you back. And also, all the gobbledygook from the day, you're just going to and from work, going to the grocery store, or just, hey, going to go see mom for the weekend. It's your space, your music, the way you want it. You want no bass, you want a little bass, you want to have some fun. That's what I'm talking about here, is how can we get bass in your car? So if I go to this aspect, guys, now this one is from Kicker, because it's going to say it right on it, even though like I said, I'm not here to talk about names, okay? But this is the difference, okay? Look, it's not even as big as my eyes. All right? No, but it's roughly 4 inches, okay? Now, this is full aluminum. This goes here. Now, this is actually my Mazda Miata, okay? So this is actually in my weekend car. I autocross it too. It goes behind the passenger seat. And so there's no room, but it really fills in the bass. It drowns out the wind noise. It does everything. And by having a built-in amplifier, I can just unsnap it, pull it out, and I'm racing. And what I made was 2 little feet. These are all come with it. That it would make it so a quick disconnect, and it went out. But since this is thin, now this is a good one. This one is over $500, okay? And I want to make sure I tell you that, because this might be less money, but what you're paying for is the technology of this, okay? Now, my wife has one too, in a Toyota Tacoma on the back wall, because it fit in the cubbies. Also too, I have another buddy who has a Toyota Tacoma, and he has one on the passenger side and one on the driver's side. So able to put 2 thin 10s and still fold up his seats, do everything. So there is areas to get bass, and this works really, really well. And I'm going to say it's a good quality one. You might not get the same performance out of a $150 thin amplified subs you do out of something like this out of a name brand. And I'm not, this one just works well. I don't know what to say more to say than that. Now, I'm gonna switch to this side, guys. I'm gonna bring in the Kahuna. So this is actually out of my own Infinity EX37, okay? Now, I have a square subwoofer. You might say, well, why? Because a square subwoofer is about 23% larger in cone displacement, okay? Because think about it, if this was here and they had a round one, it's like you cutting off all the corners. But this one, I wanted to make it as loud as I possibly could with one subwoofer. So what I did as well is I used a ported box. I don't know if you can see that where it has the port. So what happens is typically, I don't want to get into physics and stuff, I'm just trying to give you an overview. Ported boxes are louder than sealed. That's how it works, okay? So I chose a ported box, but you can already see, look at the problem with this. See the depth? I mean, it's longer than my arm, okay? And I'm not a giant man, okay? I'm gonna call it 16 inches, okay? So it's like 16 by 20. It's large, but once again, I go into the more air it moves, the more bass it produces. And that's kind of a good rule of thumb. It's why an 8 doesn't sound as loud as a 15, because 15 moves more air. So I chose this one, and then what I chose to do as well is I have quick disconnects, like it's kind of like banana plugs on it like that, so I click it in, and then when I want to take it out. So for example, when we go away for the weekend, I'll take it out. Okay, I had to make room right this weekend for a bunch of chairs. All right, even when I go grocery shopping, I still got enough room for it. So that's why I didn't go with 212s. I would love to go 212s in a ported box, but I wanted to make a box for myself that was too much. So I call it, for those of us who thinks too much is just right. Because I'd rather have too much bass and take it back. But consequently, like I said, so this is from mine, this is from my son's, and this is from my wife's and mine in my car. So why? Is because typically my wife doesn't want it as loud as I do, just the way it is. But also this is what fit in my Miata, and also it's fairly light and I can disconnect it. So what I'm trying to say with all of these options, and click back here, guys, you have the option of adding bass. Okay, I can get it underneath the seat, back wall, downfiring, throw tools on it, a big box, a Mondo box. But no, I joke, guys, because like I said, it's a third of the music. You want to feel that bass. You want to get some air movement. You want to have some fun. And you wouldn't even believe podcasts today, even the news, even real-time dramas on podcasts for crime now are using bass. So even people who now record stuff are adding bass in there. So do you want to enjoy all those nuances of all your podcasts, of all your music? Then add some bass. I'm hoping this video helped you figure out what may be an idea. So maybe you might, consult going online or go to a local retailer to talk to them about kind of the bass that you want and get some options. And if you're a car audio obsessed like me and you want more information like this, want to make the big smiles when that bass hits and have some fun and learn how to make your car sound better, transport you back in time to a place where it's just you, the music, and your friends, then you found the right place. Please subscribe, like, and share with someone you might think might enjoy this as well. I'm glad you found me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to link another video that's going to go to amplifier installation. So, and that will go towards, okay, if it's powered or not. All right. So I'll link a video that shows an amplifier. And at the end of that one as well, you'll see how to do a powered subwoofer as well. I'm just trying to lead you down the garden path, guys, of, hey, I don't want to add an amplifier and I want to add a power sub to go with my subwoofer system.